Hi, everyone. I'm 𝐬𝐍𝐶, and this is another episode of Living Enlightened Every Day. Einstein said that the most important question one can ask themselves is the universe a friendly place? What? Why would that be the most important question? Let's think about it. Because if you can answer yes, the universe is a friendly place, you get to experience the universe as a friendly place. We are powerful creators and we create what we experience. We're not creating all the events that are out there. We didn't create the weather or the stock market conditions or the interest rates rising per se. But if we believe that the universe is a friendly place, what we see will confirm that because we are creating from within our experiences on the outside. We are creating from within how we respond to everything that's happening to us from the outside or what appears to be the outside. And if you think and believe the universe is a friendly place, it is. Most of the time, it is. Everything, it's like buying a new car. You buy a new car and you see that new car everywhere. You have a thought that the universe is friendly. I love where I live. People in this town are really friendly. You are a powerful creator and you get to experience what you believe. How awesome is that? But as we look at this a little further, what if you say, I don't know, man, the universe is pretty weird. Sometimes it's friendly, sure, and sometimes it's not. Well, what do we get to experience then if that's our belief system, our BS, our lovely belief system? We get to experience the universe is friendly sometimes. And what's the word friendly mean? The universe is for us, it's supporting us, it's with us, it likes us, it loves us, right? That's friendly, right? It's it's not against us. And then if the universe is unfriendly, it is against us. It works against us. It doesn't support us. It looks painful or terrifying sometimes, right? If we are in that belief system, we get to experience that all the time. And we get to choose when and how the universe is unfriendly and when and how the universe is friendly. For most of us, what that looks like is the things we're familiar with are friendly. Okay, I've set it up this way. The things that I like, the things that I'm comfortable with, the things that I've done all the time. I go to the same restaurants, eat the same food. I have the same job. I drive the same way to work. I have the same friend group. We create familiarity. There we go. And that feels safe. And that feels like it's supporting us. It's friendly. What happens when we step out of that? This is uncomfortable. This doesn't feel good. This could be unsafe. I'm in a part of town I don't recognize. I'm in a situation that I've never been in before. And it starts to feel unsafe. So what do? We have beliefs that we are going to be or could be unsafe or things are unfriendly. We go back to what we know. We're creatures of habits. And we go back to what we know. So that's when we have those beliefs that it could be unfriendly, it could be friendly. And we put ourselves in a smaller and smaller box. We think we could control the situations, events, circumstances, and relationships that will make us feel like the universe is friendly. But it's a false sense of security. And what if you really had some childhood trauma, some really negative things that happened to you as a child, and as a children, we are not able to see a big picture. We are not able to assign reason or logic or blame, even to say they didn't know any better. That's what they did because that's what their parents did when we're talking about the abusers in our life or something that happened. So we create the system that the world is not friendly. And from that, we experience over and over again until we find some way to crack open our heart and see what is really in front of our eyes, which is a friendly, loving, supportive universe with a capital U. Until we do that, we see the universe as very scary, unfriendly, and the universe keeps putting in front of us situations that agree with our belief system. So it goes back to that simple paradigm of what you believe is true. It's true for you. But we've seen it in our media, in movies, in songs, in television shows, comedies, rom-coms, whatever it is. We see people who are just stoic opposites, right? People who just have this love and this zest for life. They like stepping outside of their box because they really believe they're going to find something new. They're going to go on an adventure, even if it doesn't work out in the way they thought it would work out. It's still an adventure and they still have a story to tell about it, and they make it sound amazing, right? But we have the same people over here telling their woe is me story, that things never work out for them, that the one time they stepped out and they tried to do something, it failed miserably. And you don't get excited for them while they're telling their story. You feel sorry for them, right? Because they're experiencing like heartache and tragedy over and over again. And for most of us, we can see that it's from their own belief system. So where do we go if we're not way over here in the wonderful Pollyanna world? Pollyanna, by the way, is before my time, so I can't speak to where it came from or who wrote it. I think it's a book or a movie about a character who really sees the good in everything. There's just a determination to see good in everything, whether she's sick. I think she's sick. Did she die? I don't know. That's terrible. I should know these things before I bring them up. But it just, the word came to me. Pollyanna means seeing the good no matter what, being determined to see the good. Why not? Why not see the good in whatever is happening? Because we can do the opposite. We can look for and see what's wrong with everything. Sure, why not? We can. And then we feel it in our heart and our soul. We feel contracted. We're going to shut down. We're going to become small. Our box will shrink because our experiences will give us things to shrink away from, right? Our friend groups shrinks, our our experiences and in wanting to travel or try new things, everything starts contracting. But you know what? That's not the nature of the universe. The universe, science tells us, is expanding and expanding and expanding. And we, as the universal beings, the spiritual beings that we are, sure, let's hope our body doesn't expand, 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 and, turn into who knows what. But our consciousness, our ability to create and experience new things, our ability to see something beautiful in a raindrop or a snowflake, or something beautiful in a storm, something beautiful in a fire. And there are tragic things. Yes, we acknowledge them. Our heart breaks. Things, things are humanly devastating. But spirit, when we allow ourselves to integrate spirit, mind, and body, we see a bigger picture. We see a whole because we're looking down from this perspective. There's no up or down, but I'm just saying we are looking from a perspective that seems to encompass it all. Yes, there's tragedy, there's pain, there's grief, there's loss, and we look at the big picture, and life is still amazing. The sun is rising. The stars are shining. The storm is coming through, and the day after, it's beautiful and amazing, right? That is our true nature of expansion, of looking from a greater perspective to see a greater wholeness. And in wholeness, we see the yin and the yang. We see the divine and the human. We see the non-duality encompassing duality. It's all available. It's all there. We see grief and loss, and we see love that is unbounded. We see unlimited creativity and infinite possibility, unless we're stuck in that place that the universe is not friendly, it's not supportive, it's not a good or safe place to be. So how do we get out? How do we get out of that mindset of whether we're way over here in the unfriendly negative universe or even the neutrality? Because that just means we keep experiencing something wonderful and experiencing something not wonderful. We experience something as supportive and we experience something as a victim. We're a victim to God or the universe or the government or our family or the community or whatever it is, our bodies. We become victims to the things that are happening in our life. And it's just not a fun place to be. As a matter of fact, in the 4 stages of consciousness, which I say there's only 2 stages of consciousness, awareness, being. There's 2 stages. You're either a victim to everything that is going on around you, or you are a participant in the one life that is living itself in, through, and as you and all that there is. There's only 2 modes of being. Most of us, and if we really get down to it, there's really only one mode of being, but we layer it, we constrict it, we step on the garden hose, and we're sitting there going, why isn't life coming out for me? Why isn't joy coming out? Why isn't prosperity and abundance coming for me? It's because we're standing on the garden hose. We've kinked it, and all we have to do is turn around and go, oh, gotta step off the hose and allow the full force of love to flow through us, the full force of creative energy, the full force of compassion and insight and joy and wisdom and intelligence, allowing more and more of that, the expansion to come through us, to flow through us. And it blows my mind. It's a decision, right? It's a decision to have a thought or to release the thought. That's it. We've created an idea that the universe is difficult, life is hard, the universe is unfriendly, people are unfriendly, circumstances are unsafe. And we experience it over and over again because we don't understand that the decision came first. And yes, it probably came before we were too young to make an adult decision, a logical decision about it. But when you believe what I do, which is a whole long story, I talk about it in a lot of my podcasts. You can go through them if you feel like it. You can go through them. That we come here with the idea that we will experience those limiting beliefs that cause us to be fearful, be less than, so that we can overcome them. By the time we become adults, we can choose again. And that is where our power lies. That's where our life lessons are. That's why we're here, is to know that, yes, we are the human being that experiences lack, limitation. I'm a finite being. I look like this. I don't look like everything and everyone everywhere. This is it. This is the finite aspect of who I am. I identify as a woman, not a man. I don't have all of it. I have the pieces that I can fit into this finite body, time, space, right? But the rest of me is infinite. It's infinite. It's just got squashed into this little time space body. So when I identify with the time space body, there's lack, limitation, there's a birth and a death. This body will go at some point, as will everything that surrounds me. Nothing in the finite world was ever meant to last. What does last? What does last? That which was never born, it will never die. That which was never created, it can never be uncreated. That is life, love, God, spirit, soul, whatever you want to call it. It will never die. When we remember the truth of our being, when we identify with that, when we expand our consciousness to be without limits the way it truly is, we float out into that and we can see the finite. Sure, there I am in my body saying these words, having these experiences. Some people would say good, some people might say bad. But when I'm over there looking at it, it's a miracle. It's incredible. And yes, there are some practical things we can do to shift our mindset. It's in pretty much every podcast I've ever done. It's with everyone I've ever interviewed. That's what they do for their life's work, is they help people shift into a mindset that is remembering the truth of their being, that we are participating in a friendly, loving, creative, amazing universe. And most of these people, including myself, we all have ways to, when it doesn't feel friendly, when we get bogged down into the contraction of being in loss or grief or lack or limitation, there are practices, there are tools to allow us to remember. And the first one is experience the loss, experience the grief, experience the pain, experience the suffering. You know, it's okay. It's there to experience, but don't leave it there. Allow it to inform you. You know, we can look at our experiences, our grief, our pain. I do this all the time. We just look at it. It's like, wow. When did I first feel this kind of pain? And for most of us, we can go back a long way. When did I feel this loss, or when did I feel this rejected? We can go back to being a child. We can go back to being a teenager. We can go back to being a young adult. We can see a pattern of where this thought that I am rejectable, right? I'm not quite lovable. Um, People don't really get me. I'm an outsider. We can usually find that pattern and we just ask, wow, where did you come from? How are you serving me? And do I need you anymore? Are you uplifting me? Are you giving me a greater perspective into the way I know life is loving me now? And we just say, wow, I don't need this anymore. We may need help. We may need a support system that can guide us through this process. Sometimes we can have an aha moment, and then we just need to integrate it into our life. We need to practice with meditation, with breathing, with integrating our entire body with the breath, with Qigong, with yoga, with whatever it is that kind of grounds us into our body, those sensations, those feelings, those memories, and lifts us up into the consciousness that we are, that has no limits. We are infinite, eternal, timeless beings having a finite experience. So yes, the mindfulness meditation where we just look at our thoughts come in sometimes and you're thinking, wow, I haven't thought that in a long time, but you're still here. Here you are, lovely negative thought. I thought I got rid of you a long time ago, but I just take you in my arms. I just look at you and I just watch you. I just allow you to fly away. Just like releasing the butterfly from the cocoon. It just, and it may come back. It may come back in 5 minutes or 5 hours, 5 days, or 5 years, but I can look at it and I can acknowledge it. And I can say, yeah, you've been a part of me. I feel that. I don't need you anymore. I can let you go. There it goes. Yeah. So I just did a master class on 3 transformational keys to align with your soul's vision. And when we align with our spirit, our soul, that sense of who we are as that expansion in consciousness, we're aligned with that, the creativity flows, love flows, patience flows, empathy flows. Alignment is our natural way of being. And the things that come into our life are like little mini miracles. And people go, why aren't you so happy all the time? Why doesn't this bother you? Why doesn't that bother you? Why doesn't the rising interest rates on your mortgage bother you? Why doesn't the way that person treated you bother you? It's like, man, I don't have time to be bothered. you know, most of the time. That doesn't mean I don't get bothered, but the things that bother most people, no. Who has time for that? Right? When I could be seeing miracles in the raindrops, in the lizards, in the ocean waves. Someone just posted what sand looks like magnified like 300 times. It was. It was amazing. It was a miracle. I walk down the streets where I live right now. They have these little, I, I don't know what's in asphalt, right? I have no idea what makes up this asphalt that is our street, but it looks like little diamonds are shining when I'm walking in the morning sunlight. And I just like everything sparkles and the trees have dew on them, the grass has dew on them, and I feel like I'm surrounded by diamonds. Like things like that. You hear the birds and they're just singing, making the most beautiful noise. Even the crows, which I can say I used to not think were so beautiful, right? But I just feel or sense them speaking. They're like, look at me, I have something important to say. And I look, and they're pretty cool. Something about it all. If we just allow it to be something wonderful, something friendly. If we choose that the universe is a friendly place, we experience the universe as friendly. Not always. There's challenges, there's moments, and even in those, it may take a while to get perspective. But even in those, we can look back and go, I mean, I look at the hardest things I've ever been through in my life. And those were the things that moved me so much further into this mindset of the universe being a friendly place. The hardest things that looked like pain and suffering and tragedy for myself and my loved ones, those were the ones that gave me the greatest perspective into who I am now and how I can be now and what the world actually is for me. So I invite you to look this week at your beliefs, your BS, your belief systems. Are you in that neutral zone? The universe is, sometimes it's pretty friendly and sometimes it's not. Just look into what thoughts are triggering the not friendly thing. See if you can just shift it over a little bit. Just explore those thoughts as they come up and allow yourself to move more into the wisdom of your heart and soul, which will tell you the universe is an amazing, supportive, friendly, loving, kind place. And when we experience something that may not feel that way, we can still trust that it is guiding and moving us into a greater expression of who we are meant to be in the universe. That's powerful. That's freedom. That's the truth of our being. I invite you to check out my book, Living Enlightened, The Joy of Integrating Spirit, Mind, and Body. I talk about this and so much more. You can check out my website, 𝐬𝐵KCANTY.com, and check out my coaching programs. I have a Conscious Creator coaching program. Yeah, contact me if you want to learn more. Put your thoughts below. Where are you in this incredible scale of friendly, not so friendly? If you like this video, please hit the like button. It helps that YouTube algorithm to get this out to more and more people. Subscribe and you'll know when I put out other videos. And share this with a friend who may need to shift their focus just a little bit in order to experience even more how friendly, how loving, how supportive the universe can be when we decide that it is. Remember, it's our decision that's creating what we see. What we see is a reflection of what we believe, our BS systems, our belief systems. Let's step into the powerful beings that we are. We get to create our experience. That's how powerful we are. What if the universe is just waiting for you to see it as friendly so it can show you its wonders? I hope this week you laugh, love, and live enlightened every single day and experience the universe as amazing.